Numbers 28. You would think Moses is gonna die now, but he won't, because God has to give us more rules that sound very similar to previous rules. Lots of living creatures are going to die. None of them are Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Give this command to the Israelites, and say to them, make sure that you present to me at the appointed time my food offerings as an aroma pleasing to me. Say to them, this is the food offering you are to present to the Lord. 2 lambs, a year old without defect, as a regular burnt offering each day. Offer 1 lamb in the morning and the other at twilight, together with a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil from pressed olives. This is the regular burnt offering instituted at Mount Sinai as a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. The accompanying drink offering is to be 1/4 of a hin of fermented drink with each lamb. Pour out the drink offering to the Lord at the sanctuary. Offer the 2nd lamb at twilight, along with the same kind of grain offering and drink offering that you offer in the morning. This is a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord." You know, it's extremely rude to sentence someone to death, but make them run errands for you before the execution. What's the incentive for Moses here anyway? What's gonna happen if he screws up the delivery? Death? Ooh, not again. And who needs 2 lambs a day? Portion control, Yahweh. But God's not done yet. On the Sabbath day, make an offering of 2 lambs a year old without defect, together with its drink offering, and a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with olive oil. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Well, sure. Gotta have 2 extra baby lambs murdered each week just for funsies. What else are you gonna do on your weekends? But God is still not done. Since he can get anything he wants, he's just gonna keep adding to the list. On the 1st of every month, present to the Lord a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all without defect. With each bull there is to be a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with oil. With the ram, a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with oil. And with each lamb, a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with oil. This is for a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. With each bull, there is to be a drink offering of 1/2 a hin of wine. With the ram, 1/3 of a hin, and with each lamb, 1/4 of a hin. This is the monthly burnt offering to be made at each new moon during the year. Besides the regular burnt offering with its drink offering, 1 male goat is to be presented to the Lord as a sin offering. What if the first day of the month is on a Sabbath day? Because then you'd be getting 2 baby lambs because it's a regular day, another 2 baby lambs because it's the Sabbath, and 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male baby lambs that are different from the other 4 baby lambs because it's a new month. And also each animal comes with flour and oil and wine. You know, to help you digest the guilt you should have for murdering all these animals. 1/2 a hin of wine that God wants with each bull is about 2 liters. And then he wants more fractions of hins with the other animals. It adds up to a lot. God wants to get wasted. And who can blame him? This story is getting so boring. Hell, I drank several hins of wine just preparing this chapter. On the 14th day of the first month, the Lord's Passover is to be held. On the 15th day of this month, there is to be a festival. For 7 days, eat bread made without yeast. On the first day, hold a sacred assembly and do no regular work. Present to the Lord a food offering, consisting of a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all without defect. With each bull, offer a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with oil. with the ram 2/10, and with each of the 7 lambs 1/10. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Offer these in addition to the regular morning burnt offering. In this way, present the food offering every day for 7 days as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. It is to be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 7th day, hold a sacred assembly and do no regular work. Okay, you know what? I'm not even keeping track anymore. God needs an intervention at this point. I can't tell if he's a glutton or a hoarder or a sadist. But basically, every day, these people need to murder something. Sometimes a lot of somethings. And God is conveying this information to a man who's about to be murdered. God's walking up to a death row inmate and handing him a grocery list. Did you notice that on the first day of this festival, God tells people to do no regular work, but also says he needs 10 animals and the food and drink that comes with each? That's like telling a new mom who's on maternity leave, hey, your life must be so easy right now since you're not at work. It's not relaxing in any way. There's so much these people have to do on their supposed time off. On the day of first fruits, when you present to the Lord an offering of new grain during the Festival of Weeks, hold a sacred assembly and do no regular work. Present a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. With each bull, there is to be a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with oil. With the ram, 2/10, and with each of the 7 lambs, 1/10. Include 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Offer these together with their drink offerings, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering. Be sure the animals are without defect. I can't believe after demanding all those animals and flour and wine, God still wants tithes. And what sort of festival is it, really, if you celebrate it the same way you celebrate every other day? That's like demanding daily presents, then wanting extra presents at the beginning of every month, then acting like Christmas is special. It's not. And if I were an elf, I definitely would not be excited. 6 times in this chapter, God talked about pleasing aromas. I know I've said this before, but there's no way this much rotting flesh is pleasing to anyone, even the Lord. What did we learn from this chapter? God's hungry, and I don't know, Moses is still not dead, but I'm sure that's happening soon, after God is full, maybe, or maybe we'll have to wait since the next chapter involves even more animal sacrifices.